CM Punk is a name infamous in the wrestling business for, well, all the wrong reasons actually. He was one of the best in the ring in 2011 2012, around that time. He is infamous in Ring of Honor for being one of the best Ring of Honor world champions of all time. And then he left the wrestling business in 2014, and ever since fans have been clamoring for him to come back to wrestling to save wrestling itself. I have been a fan of Punk for a while. I actually started watching wrestling the day after he lost his world championship reign, the record setting 434-day reign. He lost it to The Rock, and I started watching wrestling the day after. I remember that because The Rock unveiled the new WWE Championship, and it was really hilarious because I missed out on the best version of CM Punk, that is the heel version of CM Punk. But I got to witness the actual in-ring genius that is CM Punk in Brock Lesnar vs CM Punk SummerSlam 2013, a 5-star match. It was absolutely brilliant. CM Punk can not only go in the ring, he is also one of the best talkers in wrestling history, cutting maybe the second most important promo of all time in the Pipe Bomb. If you haven't heard of the Pipe Bomb, it is a fourth wall shattering promo that was cut in the main event of Monday Night Raw that shook up the wrestling business all on its own. Go watch it if you haven't already. But recently, there have been rumors that CM Punk might be looking into a in-ring return, and that too in AEW. That is massive. That is a massive gain for AEW. That is CM Punk coming back is massive in and out of itself. And I think that CM Punk coming back is a perfect decision at this time when AEW is still going strong and they have a second show coming up. Adding that bit of star power to it is going to be amazing. So, with all of that said, this is how AEW should debut the best in the world, CM Punk. So let's start it all out. The pay-per-view where CM Punk is supposed to debut. It's in Chicago, so you know he will get a massive pop. Earlier the night, Lance Archer takes on Cody Rhodes for the IWGP US Championship. Lance Archer successfully beats Cody Rhodes, but then a hooded figure enters the ring. He picks up Cody, hits a GTS, then hits a GTS on Lance Archer. He removes his hoodie to show that it is Kenta from Bullet Club. Massive boos rain from all around the arena. People are angry that CM Punk is not there. It's Kenta, and that is amazing heel heat that you can use into making Lance Archer versus Kenta sound that much more interesting. That match might take place on a Dynamite later down the road. And then the main event. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Against all odds, Hangman actually captures the AEW World Championship and he's on top of the world, But all of a sudden, 5 hooded figure entered the ring. It's just Kenny and Hangman in the ring, but 5 hooded figure entered the ring and start beating up Kenny and Hangman. Out comes the Elite and also the Dark Order. But since they actually had matches earlier the night, they're not that powerful anymore. The 5 people with chairs and outside weapons are able to take them down. They remove their jacket and their mask and their hoodies to show that it's Bullet Club, led by Jay White, Kenta, God, and it's amazing. Bullet Club has invaded AEW, but then we hear this. Cult of Personality plays and out comes CM Punk. The crowd soar as CM Punk, wearing a jacket, actually soars through the main stage and goes into the ring. Bullet Club exit the ring, and it's weird because CM Punk alone just scared away the Bullet Club. That's how much of a power he has. He actually helps Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega back to their feet. But then hits a GTS on Hangman Adam Page. Kenny is shocked, but then hits a GTS on Kenny Omega. Huh? Bullet Club re-entered the ring, and then they start beating up everyone again. CM Punk opens his jacket to show that he's also a member of the Bullet Club. He picks up a mic and says, "I told you I would change the culture." That is the end of the night. There are a few reasons to do this. One, CM Punk's most interesting version is not face CM Punk is actually more heel CM Punk. So how to make him heel? How to make him heel in a state where he's from, where everyone loves him, then have him turn the back on the company that brought him back to wrestling. And number two, everyone knows that Punk is basically going to show up at All Out around that time. So why not have another attention-grabbing headline? CM Punk returns to AEW, joins Bullet Club. I think there will be a massive headline that gains so much publicity for AEW. Next night, Punk comes out to the ring and cuts a promo. He says, I hate that some people claim that the elite like Omega and Bucks actually saved wrestling. Come on, man. If it wasn't for me, wrestling would have been dead a decade ago. They haven't done shit. But then you call them the most important people in the wrestling business right now, like they're the messiahs of wrestling or something, and that annoyed me. Because I was the best in the world. Maybe I'm no longer the best in the world, but to have them be more important than me is wrong. So I came out on a mission. I joined AEW for one reason and one reason only, to take over AEW. And then I found a couple of people who had the same goal as myself. Out comes Bullet Club, Kenta, Jay White, and God. They stand behind Punk, and Punk says, Bullet Club. The reason I joined them is because together we're going to destroy AEW and take it over for ourselves. I don't care if they're from New Japan, I don't care if I'm from AEW. AEW is going down to CM Punk. So it's as simple as this, Kenny. I don't want to wait in line for the World Heavyweight Championship opportunity because frankly, that's annoying and I don't want to have matches on Elevation and Dark and waste my time there. So, how about I cut the line? How about I face you in a number one contenders match? You know, you have that bad blood with me, I did turn my back on the company and shit. So why not I have a match with you and the winner faces Hangman Adam Page for the World Heavyweight Championship. He then exits the ring and later on in the night it is announced that yes, that match will be taking place on AEW Grand Slam in New York. CM Punk vs Kenny Omega. I'm giving away this pay-per-view level match between these two on Dynamite because it's in New York, it's a massive show and everyone's going to be watching it, so why not give them the best possible main event with CM Punk taking on Kenny Omega, a literal dream match. At AEW Grand Slam, against all odds, CM Punk actually wins the match with the help of a distraction by Switchblade Jay White. The reason for that is simple. A, he's from Bullet Club and Punk is also, so he helped him out. But B, Switchblade also is going for Kenny's Impact World Championship and he eventually will be dethroning Kenny as the Impact World Champion. On the build-up to Full Gear, Hangman Adam Page reminds CM Punk that Dark Order has his back. No matter what CM Punk does, Dark Order will be having his back. And that at Full Gear, Bullet Club will not play a factor in anything. It's just going to be CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page. And it's well sort of true. At Full Gear, as the match is coming to an end, CM Punk is in the middle of the ring and Hangman Adam Page is getting ready for a buckshot lariat. When the camera cuts backstage and we see the Bullet Club has laid out the Dark Order. They're on the ground, just, wheezing in pain, and Bullet Club is standing there smiling. That distracts Hangman for a long time. And then he goes for the buckshot lariat. Punk catches it, hits a GTS, 1, 2, 3. CM Punk is the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. This would be monumental. Just few months after winning the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Hangman Adam Page has lost the championship to someone from Bullet Club. Then out come the Bullet Club to beat up Hangman Adam Page. He's helpless. Right now, Bullet Club is just going to beat him up because the Dark Order isn't with him. But out comes Kenny Omega and the Bucks and Cody. They come out and they save Hangman Adam Page. It seems like a little bit of a agreement is made between everyone. Hangman sees Kenny, gets up to his feet, and nods at Kenny. It's a weird interaction between all of them, but one that will make sense on next Dynamite. Next Dynamite, it has a little CM Punk Championship coronation. You know, the normal shebang. Oh, I'm the best in the world. There's no one who can beat me. Stuff like that. There's also the Bullet Club in the ring. When the camera cuts to backstage and you see the Elite standing together. Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, Cody, and the Bucks. They say that they're no longer brothers. They're not even friends. They're allies. They're allies that are going to save AEW from Bullet Club. No matter what it takes, no matter how much it hurts them, they're going to save this company from the wolves that are Bullet Club. They challenge Bullet Club to a 5v5 blood and guts match at Revolution. Bullet Club accept. So you got that match set up for Revolution, but in the meantime, we have to give, New Japan something. They have sent 5 of their best talent and we have to give them back something. So how about at Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks take on Jay White and God in a 3v3 match. The return of Kenny Omega to the plate that made him into a superstar. Kenny returns to Japan for one night only. They beat Bullet Club, even though there was interference from other members of the Bullet Club, but that's because Kota Ibushi comes out with the chair and scares everyone away, allowing Kenny and the Bucks to have a clean win. The connection between the Golden Lovers is still strong. Over here in America, the rest 2 members of Bullet Club, Kenta and CM Punk, face Hangman Adam Page and Cody Rhodes from the Elite. Surprisingly, CM Punk and Kenta win clean over the odd duo couple of the Elite. This all leads to Revolution. 5v5, Blood and Guts. Bullet Club, represented by God, Kenta, Jay White, and CM Punk, taken on the Elite, represented by Young Bucks, Cody, Hangman Adam Page, and Kenny Omega. It's a brutal affair. It is everything that is the accumulation of the entire feud that's been going on for months. It is perfect. It is a brilliant story, and it's going to be just bloody mess. Towards the end, the Bullet Club members do have the control over all the Elite members. CM Punk says that if Hangman does not give up right now, he's going to concerto Kenny Omega. He goes for that, but Hangman says I quit just in time to save his former buddy. There are still a little bit of feelings there. You can turn them into a tag team again. I would enjoy that very much. Bullet Club win. Blood and Guts match fair and square. This is where we go back to rankings. We haven't actually paid any attention to rankings yet, but in the meantime, while all of this was happening, one guy has been raking up wins left and right, and it is none other than Darby Allin. A match everyone would like to see, the very new version of Jeff Hardy versus the new version of CM Punk, a one-time, all-time great feud. CM Punk reminds Darby that there was once a guy that he faced in an amazing match where he beat that guy who also used to jump off of tall structures, who also had no regard for his own health, who also wore face masks, so why is this time going to be any different? All Darby's got is a skateboard and an old man. And to be fair, he's right. CM Punk defeats Darby Allin clean in the middle of the ring at Double or Nothing. I don't think Darby is still up there in the level of CM Punk and the main eventer. He will get there eventually, but he puts up a great fight, a valiant effort. But Punk beats him clean because you also want to make CM Punk into a credible champion, not one who just uses Bullet Club for his wins. That would be stupid. At this point, Bullet Club returns to Japan because there has to be a reason that they're here so long. Or are there? Have they returned to Japan? We'll get to that in a bit. The next guy to face CM Punk at AEW Dynamite Fight for Fallen is none other than a man who won a number 1 contenders battle royale a few weeks ago, and that would be Christian Cage. Cage has had not a World Championship opportunity in AEW yet, and this would be his opportunity. CM Punk versus Christian Cage, AEW Fighter Fest, and CM Punk wins clean again because you want to make him a credible champion again. After Darby Allin and Christian Cage lose their matches, the guy that climbs up to the rankings top The new number one contender is MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I think this is my favorite match that can happen in AEW just off the promos itself. MJF might be the only son of a bitch to out son of a bitch CM Punk. MJF also has his pinnacle, and he's also sort of a heel. So he's not going to play by the rules, is he? Not at all. So this match comes ahead at All Out 2022. 1 year after CM Punk entered AEW, he will be putting the title on the line against MJF, who he has had a little bit of a history with. At Full Gear, the match goes on as it is, but towards the end, the Pinnacle is standing there, but from behind, the Bullet Club returns and they beat up Pinnacle. Everyone's surprised out of their minds. Everyone thought they returned to Japan, but apparently they didn't, or they came back for this one night, no one knows. But now the Pinnacle is laid out. Using this distraction, CM Punk hits a GTS. Maxwell kicks out at 2. CM Punk is incredibly surprised, and so is the rest of the Bullet Club. They try to gang up on MJF, but out comes the Elite and out comes Inner Circle. They're not going to watch Bullet Club ruin AEW anymore. The Elite come out and they beat up Bullet Club, and Inner Circle also helps in that case, which is ironic. Cody, a member of the Elite, was backstabbed by MJF, and Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle have all of this history with MJF, but now they're helping MJF win the title. And win the title he does. He hits CM Punk with the finisher 1, 2, 3. MJF is the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and this starts to make Pinnacle into the best faction in AEW. And that is it. I think that would be a perfect summation of CM Punk at the main event scene. Next, he can retreat down to TNT Championship, where he faces Bryan Danielson. Yes, Bryan Danielson fantasy booking coming out next week, but also he can have some dream feuds with other people as well, including Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and everyone along those lines. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments. Also be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you want next in the comments below. This was a video in the making for a while. I've already made a CM Punk booking video before, but that was very outdated, so decided to make a new one. Thanks again, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.